All right, let's finish week 12 strong. We got Monday Night Football with the 49ers and the Panthers. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we got some Monday Night Football action. That's right. So here's the deal. I am recording this on Saturday, actually. We're releasing this on Sunday, but I am in Vegas at a family wedding this week, so I'm not going to have time to record Sunday. That's why we're recording it early. So the problem with that is there's no full recap of Week 12. We'll go over that later in the week when I get back, but hopefully it's just going awesome. Hopefully we're winning every single bet, but just want to give you guys a heads up. So quick reminder also, my next NBA Best Bets video, probably not out until Wednesday night again. I doubt I can get a video done in Vegas, but you never know. I've already mentioned to you in that last NBA video where you can find all the bets. But before we get anything, we got to remind you guys, it's running out of time. If you are in Missouri, new customers only right now, here's your chance to sign up with FanDuel using the link below. Betting is legal there. How about that? Congratulations. If you sign up using the link below, you bet $5, you get $400 in bonus bets. It's absolutely insane deal, but you have to sign up before December 1st. So be sure to do that. These are all new customers in Missouri. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get it rolling. We got to cure those Monday blues with a little dad joke. Here we go. What did Spartacus think when the lion ate his wife? He was gladiator. Yep. In this video, it's going to be pretty short and simple. We're going to preview, and I'm going to give out my best bets for the Panthers and 49ers, and then we're going to finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. Let's get it rolling. And that means it's time for Monday Night Football. All right, this one takes us out to Santa Clara, where the 49ers host the Carolina Panthers. 49ers minus 7.5. Total, this one's 49.5. So the biggest news in this game is that I'm going to be with my family watching it from a sports book in Vegas. That's right. That's our reward for watching the kids during the bridal shower this week. How about that? So I'm excited. My cousin is a huge 49ers fan. But anyways, let's get into the preview here. 49ers coming in off a 41-22 win over the Cardinals last week. Panthers coming in off a 30-27 win over the Falcons last week. Injury report pretty decent on both sides, actually, other than, the big guys like Bosa, Warner, Ayuk, who have been out pretty much the whole year. But 49ers pretty good other than that. Panthers inside linebacker Christian Roseboom is doubtful. Outside linebacker Trevin Wallace, however you pronounce it, is questionable. Pretty healthy other than that. So let's talk some trends for this game now. This will be the Panthers' first primetime game in 2 years. How about that? Congratulations, Panther fans. You have made it. But since Christmas of 2023, the 49ers are 1-15 against the spread after an outright win. Mind-boggling. Failing to cover by 7.7 points per game, and that's the worst in the NFL, 1-15. But off a straight-up win when playing at home, like in this case, they've lost 12 consecutive games against the spread. Wild. Now, 49ers are on extended rest. Usually a good thing, right? Not for them. They have lost 9 consecutive games against the spread when they have extra rest. Just mind-boggling. Since 2023, the 49ers are 4-9 ATS as a 6+ point favorite. Panthers 3-8 against the spread in the first half this season. That is the worst in the NFL, so they get off to slow starts. Bryce Young also 13-25 against the spread in the first half. That is the worst in the NFL over the span of his career. But primetime unders, in case you're wondering, 21-16-1 to the under right now. So not a huge advantage, but it is a slight advantage there. Now, I got 2 best bets for this game. Let's get it rolling again. I'm giving these out on Saturday. I dropped them out on my website, justabetoutside.com, where you can get the bets first. Dropped that out, one on Friday night. I think one was on Saturday morning. So I don't know where the lines are exactly by the time you watch this, but this first one, I love it. Christian McCaffrey, over 42.5 receiving yards, minus 113 on DraftKings. These are both going to be a half unit, like normal on primetime. But let's first start out with this insane hit rate. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he is over this line in 10 of 11 games. Now, it's for any hit rate, really, to be at playable odds after hitting 10 of 11 just seems kind of crazy. This guy is averaging 66.5 receiving yards per game this year. He's a number 1 receiver, honestly. And you guys know, quarterback rushing yards and receiving yards for running backs, they're kind of hit and miss. They're very volatile. But when it comes to Bijan and McCaffrey, those are 2 I trust a little bit more as they're more steady from week to week. But let's talk some more numbers on Run CMC. Averaging 6.7 receptions on 8.7 targets. Again, This isn't a running back. We're talking about a receiver when we go over these numbers. Averaging 10.3 yards per reception, 6 catches, at his average, easily flies over this. 6 at 10. Do the math, obviously. Hash brown math, that's 60 yards. But he has a long reception of 14 plus yards in all 11 games. The number one target share on the 49ers, and it's not even close. 25.7% target share. Jennings, 15%. Now, facing the Panthers, average matchup here when it comes to receiving yards to the running back. Run CMC has 3 different games versus top 10 defenses when it comes to allowing receiving yards. One was the Saints, 52 yards he had. One was the Falcons, 72 yards. And then not last week, but also to the Texans, who are obviously a great defense, he still had 43 receiving yards. So this is a play on his high usage, getting a line that is cashed in 10 of 11 games. It's over 20 yards below his average, which is pretty nice. So, and then the finally note I want to mention, because obviously it's been with different quarterbacks, the final 3 or in the last 3 games with Brock Purdy, 73, 92, and 40 receiving yards. The 40 was last week versus Arizona, the only time he didn't go over. It was a massive blowout. But in the last 3 games right now, he has 27 targets. Gotta love that. Give me Run CMC over 42.5 receiving yards. That is my first best bet. Now the second one, it's a spread. Here we go. Give me the Panthers plus 7.5 at -110 on Bet365. Again, a half unit play. Why are the 49ers laying over a touchdown to a decent team? And again, it's hard to avoid the trends. The 49ers are 1-15 against the spread after an outright win. Lost 12 consecutive against the spread at home after a win. Now let's talk Carolina. This is a 6-5 team right now. Crazy to even say out loud. I think we need to adjust a little bit how we see them. Still not perfect or great or anything like that, but they're coming off a road win in Atlanta. Lost to the Saints in a bad game before that. Beat the Packers in Green Bay before that. They're 5-2 in their last 7. This is not a bad football team. That includes 3 straight road wins, which is wild. They're still inconsistent, but definitely improved. Bryce Young coming off a career game last week. Teteroa McMillan just showing why he's one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL. Thought about his receiving yards over, maybe him for a touchdown, something like that. I think he could have a big game here, though. Defense also much improved. They're struggling to get to the quarterback consistently, but playing better because, as you guys know, last year they were like the worst in the NFL stopping the run. They're at least right around average this year. Just playing with some confidence right now. Now for the 49ers, this is a defense that really struggles. Last week versus Arizona, they recorded 0 sacks and allowed 400-plus passing yards. Yes, 0 sacks. Brissett had like 60 dropbacks last week, too. Not even an exaggeration. They also can't get any pressure on quarterbacks in general, not just last week, but it was over the course of this year. After losing all their guys, I mean, they are getting 0 pressure. It is like a practice out there for quarterbacks. So offenses look good lately. Great on third down offensively. Second most pass yards in the league, all that kind of stuff. But to me, it's about the 49ers defense. They're just flat out not very good. And when you're not a good defense, you're giving 7.5 points to a decent team. That's quite a bit. Red zone defenses, Panthers are the 9th best. 49ers are the 17th best. So Panthers have pretty good red zone defense. I just think this scrappy Panthers team, again, we've seen a lot of primetime games where the underdogs come through in the clutch and either win outright or cover the spread. I think they can keep this one close. So give me Carolina plus 7.5. That is my second and final best bet for Monday Night Football. Again, I'm giving these out on Saturday. Maybe something else grabs me and I like something, or maybe I just have some leans. If I do all that, or if I find anything new, I'll put it in the pinned comments below as well. So before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets from Monday Night Football. Christian McCaffrey over 42.5 receiving yards, -111 for a half unit. And the Panthers plus 7.5 at -110 for a half unit. If you're looking for kind of some other possible leans, like I said, Teteroa McMillan over his receiving yards. Also kind of like him for a touchdown. I think he's got a great matchup here. Bryce Young should have all day to throw, so just someone else to look at. But again, if I have any leans, added plays, they will be in the pinned comments below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already. Also, if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. Apparently, it helps us out, really gets our channel out there, our video out there. So I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy Week 12. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and we'll talk to you soon.